If you're watching right now on any medium, you got to stay tuned. You got to buckle up, put on your seatbelt, because we're going to rock your world right now. But if you're watching on Biz TV, you got to go download the app, okay? Hit it, download it, and take us with you wherever you're going, because you can't trust these social media channels because they ban you if you say one thing that they don't agree with, okay? And they very well may ban us now because the left wing never agrees with this guy. He's one of the best in the business. We do all we can to grab him and get him on here whenever we can. But Vince Everett Ellison joins us right now, author of The Iron Triangle, Inside the Liberal Democratic Plan to Use Race to Divide Christians in America in Their Quest for Power. And only Vince knows how we can defeat him. Vince, how do we beat him?
Man, we beat them by doing what you do, John. Just tell the truth. Go out there every day. I know, like you're tired of these people coming up in the camera, these so-called woke
folk.
Democrats who, but all they are just basically mentally castrated men who have become feminized. They walk out there and they say they're scared and they're afraid. You know, you got LeBron James, 6'8", 250 pounds, got $200 million in the bank, walks around talking about he's afraid for his life. He's being hunted. You have all these NFL players, these big muscle men with all this money. But see, these are young men under the age of 30, and they're all children of Barack Obama and Eric Holder. So this is their life experience. Think about this. Barack Obama started running for president in 2006, 14 years ago. And these children are all under 30 years old, so he's their only experience in politics. And what did he say to them while he was there? The most powerful man in the world, sitting in the Oval Office, looking at America and looking at the world. The last 2 years, he said America was racist. Racism was in his DNA. He said some people can't make it no matter how hard they try. Eric Holder said that when it comes down to race, America is still a nation of cowards. They sat there in the White House where America had given them the presidency of the United States of America and all of this power. And then they trashed this country to the other generation and told them that your job is to revolt and to protest. And they did that to make sure that their people behind them got in power. Because if black folk ever got to a point where they believed they were Americans and that they were a part of this country, they knew that the Democratic Party was finished.
So, Vince, you're amazing. For those of you who don't know, okay, and Vince made a great point. Obama started running in 2006. What a great country we have, Vince, when a man who never held a private sector job in his entire life, a community organizer by all accounts, okay? He has his first fundraiser in the living room of Bill Ayers, okay? Tony Rezko, who's a convicted felon, who was one of Obama's top fundraisers, bought his first house for him. So this guy was born and bred out of some of the worst people on earth. And he knew that the legacy he would leave was to start dividing America on race. And that would set the tone for where we were heading in the future. He knew it from day one. He was with the Weather Underground. He was with Bill Ayers. These people are socialists. They support the Sandinistas. They support Castro. They blow up Americans. And those are Obama's founding fathers. So it's not a shocker, is it?
No. These are, again, his descendants. Instead of setting up a nation behind him, where these young people would hear from their leader and say, America is the greatest country in the world. You can have whatever you want in this country. You can do whatever you want to do. He, in fact, said, I am an elitist. I have done something that you cannot do. You know, he, Spike Lee, all the other Hollywood elitists who've made millions in this country will look at black people that they consider below them and say, you can't do what I've done. Right. What I did to become successful, you can't do it. Hard work, dedication to a craft, being so good at what I do, no matter what the color of my skin, people will buy it from me. You know, going out there, believing in myself. They told them, you can't do this. This country is racist. You cannot make it. Stay on the plantation.
Vince, let me ask you this. Do you think you'll vote for Donald Trump?
Oh, no doubt. Trump is the quintessential, American. He tells you that when he tells all Americans, you can do what I do. You can have what I have. You can be as successful as me. That's what an American says. But on the left, there are these people that are telling African Americans consistently, you're a victim. You're a victim. You're a victim. You can't do it. You're a victim.
Collect unemployment, take Section 8, get free rent, get your WIC card so you can get free food. The government will take care of you.
Yes.
But so you will vote for Trump.
Oh yes, no doubt.
So
When you
let
have
me
a
ask you
binary
this, because
choice,
according to Joe Biden, if you're considering to vote for Trump, you ain't black. I feel like you're still black.
Yeah, that's what the master said, Joe. And they also say that you guys need to go to re-education camps. They call it critical race theory,
Yeah,
where
right.
white people have to go to these re-education camps because you're
Oh.
a racist, even though you don't know you're racist, and even though you haven't done anything racist to a black person in your life. The very fact that you are white means that your whiteness it oppresses me, and that you have to proactively make me feel like a man by pulling back your whiteness, which is your greatness. It is ridiculous.
It's absolutely ridiculous. They're trying
on steroids.
You know about the 1619 project, right? They're trying to change. They're trying to change our Independence Day, the foundation of America, 1776 to 1619, when the first slave boat came. This is no disrespect to you, Vince, but the African American voter makes up for about 14% of the electorate at best count, right?
Right.
And I swear to God, I grew up on like the football and baseball fields of Staten Island, New York. My dad was a big coach, and he was a cop. And when they used to say, when you heard stuff about race, my father used to say, hey, don't listen to any of that crap. When they throw the water bottles on the field, you drink out of the same bottle the black guy does next to you. We're all the same stuff. You know what I'm saying? These people, these Black Lives Matter people, they want the tail to wag the dog. And that's not the way it goes here in America.
Well, as a matter of fact, Black Lives Matter, BLM doesn't stand for Black Lives Matter. It stands for burn, loot, and murder.
Yeah.
But that's what they do.
I like that.
Burn, loot, and murder.
And murder. Right. I like that. So, Vince.
That's them.
Burning, looting, and murdering is happening to the NFL with their ratings because they're out there trotting out all these, they can put slogans on their helmets and they do a special moment of Black Lives Matter and they got all these other things, right? And the ratings are tanking. No? Do we have Vince? The ratings are tanking, right? I mean, the NFL, we talked about it earlier, they're getting killed.
Yeah.
It's like Monday Night Football, the Giants were on the opening game. I'm a Giant fan, unfortunately. But the ratings were down 38% from last year. It's like, when I talk about, the African-American voting bloc being 14%, the other 86% of America is not liking the NFL adopting this burn, loot, and murder coalition.
Well, these players are reflecting, number one, the will of their owners, and a lot of their owners are very rich and they're very liberal, and they live in these blue states. Number two, and they want Joe Biden to win, so they're trying to make sure that they use their black players to press black people to vote for Joe Biden. That's number one. Number two, a lot of these young black players are very young, and they have been controlled by the Iron Triangle. Most black preachers, most black politicians, and most black civic organizers. You notice you hear very little pushback from this trifecta when it comes down to all this burning, looting, and this murder. You haven't heard NAACP, SELC. None of these people really come out and put this stuff down and say it needs to stop. Many of the black preachers, some have come out, but most of them have stayed quiet, and a lot of them have gotten involved in it. And almost every black politician that's not Republican has gotten involved in it also. Why? This is what they must do. This is 1860 all over again. This is the plantation system saying we will burn America down. We will start a civil war. We will destroy this country before we lose our black slaves, before we let them leave off of the plantation. This is it all over again. And they have put a gun to America's head. And they said that we are threatening you with unrelenting, uncontrolled violence if you do not vote the way we want you to vote. But they don't understand that we are Americans and we do not respond well to threats.
Yeah, we ain't Pavlov's dog either. Joe Biden can't go out there like the plantation master and say, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. You know what I mean? It just don't work that way in America no more. Hey, for all you watching out there, you got to go to Amazon and you got to find the Iron Triangle inside the liberal democratic plan to use race to divide Christians in America in their quest for power and how we can defeat them. And you know what? Vince Everett Ellison slays it every time we're lucky enough to get him. Thank you, my brother. I really appreciate you joining us again.
Hey, man, I enjoyed it. You guys keep telling the truth. And look, you tell your people out there, this is how we see it. I can't make you love me, but you can't stop me from loving you. And we have to love one another.
I like that.
We have to love one another. And for the people out there that are looting and murdering and burning, let them understand that this is not the spirit of God. This is not the spirit of Christ. He told us to forgive and love each other. You don't use coercion, and you don't use murder, and you don't loot and kill to make people come to your way of thinking.
That ain't going to get us anywhere. Well,
No,
when Vince
not.
Everett Ellison is here, love is in the air. And you got to go check out Iron Triangle. Vince, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate it.
All right, brother. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Liquid Lunch is breezing through. We're going to close it out, but don't go nowhere.